Hi and welcome everyone. Sandy here from Lolly and Sand, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. Can you believe, I have to say this, it is the end of the month? Like, what? Where did November go? Like, I think it flew by. Oh, for that matter, the whole year flew by, but hey, so here we are. And we actually had snow, so like, wow. Surprise! Not only is it the end of the month, but it's also the last day that you can join Stampin' Up! For $100 and get $165 in product. Like, wow. And a free paper pumpkin kit with no shipping fee, which is tremendous, and no tax in most provinces. Like, wow. Hey, Bea. Hey, Elsie. Yes, hello again. Anyway, so yeah, and one of the really great things about being a demonstrator, other than the fact that I have a really awesome team and a huge global network of demonstrators, is that we get to order early. And tomorrow, being December 1st, we get to order from the brand spanking new mini catalog. True. So if you were to join tonight, has to be tonight, you would actually be able to order from the mini catalog ahead of other people. Yay. Other people, as in people that aren't demos. I shouldn't call them other people. That's rude. How rude. Oh, I see pixelation again. We're going to have to just work through it. Okay, a couple more hellos, and then we're going to jump right in because I've got lots to do here. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Sandy. You need this. You know what? I think it's my therapy. I don't know if it's your therapy. It's my therapy for sure. And hey, Terry. All right, so here we go. I'm going to be using Whimsical Trees tonight, but if you happen to notice the title of this video, I called it the M.B.E technique. You're going to find out what that is. I didn't know what to call it, so that's what I'm calling it. Anyway, so we're using Whimsical Trees and the dies. So I use parts of the bundle. You know how much I love these little trees and this little tree, and I like all of it, obviously. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't love it. And I always want to make sure that you're buying what you love and that you're going to use. So, I guess the other thing I should tell you is that the, what's it called? It's not called the year-end sale. Rats, I forget the name of it. Starts tomorrow, because this current mini catalog that we're in is going to retire. That means that you're not going to see a lot of those products again. So you might want to take a look at that. I do believe I put that on my newsletter. Just grabbing my inks here, by the way. Alrighty, because we have some stamping to do. So I'm thinking, where do I start? I don't need this one right now. Go away. I got a little too slap happy there. Alrighty, so first thing is, this is one of the trees. I don't call it one of the little trees. I call it the skinny tree. I don't know why. And I'm going to ink it up in Soft Succulent. And ta-da. Now, if you didn't want it that dark, you could always use the second one. I like the first one better. That it's a little light. So I didn't really plan on stamping it twice to show you. I would have put more ink on it. We're going to keep this color handy because we're going to use that again. Now, the other thing, well, that was brilliant. I have to grab a piece of paper. Oh, here's one that I haven't. Oh, no, it is gray. Never mind. Wakey, Sandy. Okay, now we're using Smoky Slate on Smoky Slate cardstock. And I took the greeting. I've already die cut this, by the way. You knew that. I took the greeting out of Penguin Place, right here, Season's Greetings. So that's what we're stamping. And here we go. I may do it more than once. I just realized I didn't put anything underneath it. And I'm just thinking, I wonder if I didn't stamp this in a darker color. I may have. So let me just try that again. Yeah, we're going to be upside down. I did. You know what? I'm such a liar. Just a second. See if I can reach. I've got all my lamps around me. I have to move one. Okay, come to me, Basic Gray. In other words, my blog post, which will go live later, I think might be wrong. Okay, let's try Basic Gray, because I do believe it looks it looks from my sample a lot darker. Oh, definitely looks more like that. Now that we know it's that color, so it's basic gray onto smoky slate. I'm just going to do a few in case I mess up, because I'm going to fussy cut that. It's not terribly fussy, but I am going to fussy cut it. So anyway, that was basic gray. Say bye-bye to that. Alrighty. Oh, hang on. I still need my smoky slate. We're going to do, oh, my poor video, good gracious. We're actually going to heat emboss twice tonight. So we'll get this one ready. I need 2 things for this. And we did this particular, gasp, I hate the look of the video. I did this particular, I'll slow my hands down, technique last week. So I'm just going to do this at the bottom of the page to keep everything away. So I'm going to, this is, again, smoky slate. So I'm going to ink up in Versamark, and then ink up here, and then I'm going to hold that down for a little bit. Oh, I think I'm up too high. Now this looks even worse, and you'll find out why really soon. So that looks very light, not a problem. I'm going to close up the Versamark and close that. I'm going to bring in my little embossing tray. We don't sell these. I quite often just use a container. And look how much I've used. Like, I actually have to get more. So when you get the embossing powders, we used to buy them individually, but it's easier now, in my opinion, because now you can order, it's a 3-pack, so you get your black, your white, and your clear. I'm using clear, and I am going to put that back in, just not right at this very moment. All right, heat tool. It's going to get noisy for a second. And the lid can go. We're just waiting for the magic. If you could actually see the magic because of the pixelation. What I want you to notice is, see how light it is right now, and check out when I heat emboss the color in clear, how much darker it is. Isn't that cool? I thought when I was making the card, I went, that's ridiculous, Sandy. No one's ever going to see that, but surprisingly, it is super dark. So it started off looking like this. Oh, my poor signal. Anyway, I have already, as you know, I've already die cut that, but now I have an extra one. I'm going to do a quick fussy cut. It's going to be a little bit ragged and quick. I do have the cable. Yeah, I was just checking to make sure I had the Ethernet cable plugged in. This is not going to be pretty, by the way, my fussy cutting on this. Even on the original card, it's kind of bumpy and lumpy, and you know what? It is what it is. I couldn't think of a die I wanted to use for this, so I thought, well, you know what? You're just going to have to wing it. And wing it I am. So it's a little off kilter, so it kind of goes that way. I actually had cut it on an angle like that, and yeah, I decided to go a different way. Okay, now I don't know if you know this, or if maybe you've used them. Bring my light back in. We have these decorative masks, and they're really cool. And I'm going to show you a technique that, you know, it probably exists. I've just never seen it happen. I was watching my screen. I've never seen it done this way. So this one comes with 4. So you have your dots. Probably be easier like that. And you have these trees. Pretty cool. I've not used those, surprisingly, with all these cards. You have this really beautiful, I don't know what kind of pattern you call it, but it's really beautiful. Backgrounds would be fantastic. And then we have this one. And because I'm using whimsical trees, I looked at these and I see little trees. It could just be my brain, I don't know, but I see little trees, and it's exactly what I want for the card. So now we get to use the blending brushes. Now this is pretty scrappy looking. This is how I keep my blending brushes from getting my my IKEA drawer inky. Put that there. So here goes nothing. I'm going to start with real red, and then I'm going to move to soft succulent, and then we'll see what happens. move that down just a little bit. I don't know why I turned it around. It's like up is up and down is down. Not really. Alrighty. So I couldn't find my grid paper. Shock. And I don't necessarily need it. So what I'm saying is, if I used line paper so I could line up my paper here, if this is no particular size because it's getting die cut anyway, and all I did was line up the top, the bottom doesn't really matter, and then I lined up these sides to be mostly even, because this is, I don't want it being like this on my card. All right, I'm going to take off some of that color because you start light, you work your way up, right? Well, this one's going to be really bold in comparison to my sample. And that's the cool thing about it, is when you do this, any kind of blending like this, you're going to have truly original cards, because you will not be able to replicate this type of card exactly. So switch to the next color, and I'm actually going to go back over the colors potentially. I'll see what it looks like. Oh, and I should tell you, you can use painter's tape. And you notice I'm not holding on to it. You can use painter's tape. You can use washi tape. I just happen to use Scotch tape because I know I don't need these corners. So whatever your purpose is for what you're doing, you decide what product you want to use. All right, so let's go in with the green. I'm trying to be reasonably random with this. And you know what? This is one of those cases where the mask itself, by the way, if I was to go like that, it's covered in ink, right? So as I do this, it's actually taking some of, in this case, some of the red and putting it into the green, which is going to make a really awesome one-of-a-kind color, which I thought was cool. Like, I was playing with colors one day, and I don't know what I was doing, and I came up with this kind of ombre looking beige. I don't even know, because I wasn't, maybe I did use crumb cake at one point, but because I had mixed a few colors, it was the most unusual color. Kind of looked like dirty wash water, but it was really pretty. You have to trust me on that one. All right, so now I'm just going over more parts of it with the green again onto the red. And when I, real red, if you just stamp it, it's nice and bright. I'm going to give you a peek of what it looks like, okay? Ready? Isn't that cool? So that's not green or red, in other words, and that doesn't look like real red. It looks like pink. So it's very cool. Add a little bit more. Now, you've seen blending techniques before, so this isn't going to be too new to you. I'm just going to add a little bit more pink on top of some of the green, so it was looking a little muddy. That's one thing you do have to be careful. Think of the colors you're using. Like, for example, you don't want to use, say, early espresso and shaded spruce. You're going to get something pretty dark. That looks nice. I like the look of it. So that's the start. I will close these guys, because right now I don't need them. And very carefully put my blending brushes away. Bring in the Versamark. So this is the mask part of the M.B.E. Part 2, the B was the blending brushes, and the E is embossing. We're going to emboss this in clear. I'm just kind of making sure, this is why this looks this color, by the way, because there is color on top of this. I'm kind of moving the color, and I should be very careful to try and hit every spot. So I'm just going to go over it again, because it's really cool. Really, really cool. That's why I wanted to show you. Okay, so at this point, I'm satisfied that I've got lots of Versamark on here. So I'm actually going to take the stencil off. I don't need the stencil on there to do the next part. So it doesn't matter if it rips this paper, because that's my scratch paper. What do you think? How cool is that? Like, seriously. I think in person it's even prettier. We'll have to keep this paper in case stuff goes over. I think this one's darker than my other two, so I really like it. So remember, I had this in here. I'm just going to dump this right on top of it. And then we'll move everything back here. And when I say And I guess dump isn't a very nice word. Last chance list, thank you. A retirement list. Okay, it's one or the other. Alrighty. So I always say you don't have to pour out the whole container. For something this large, I am literally pouring out the entire container. And I'm just going to coax it back and forth. I do want coverage, so if I have to, you're going to get lots of stuff on yourself, by the way. Don't worry about getting the embossing powder on yourself. Your desk probably won't like it. It's really hard to tell that it's on there, so it doesn't hurt to just do it one more time. Not going to hurt anything. And then do your old, I can see bits coming off, so that's good. Okay, this is why I need another one. It's going to take you a while to go through your embossing powder. It doesn't go that quick, but I've been using a lot of it through the season. Okay, bear with me. This is going to take a couple minutes. So while that's happening, I'm going to warm up the heat tool just a little bit, and that should make it faster. And maybe I'll put something under it. All right, here we go. I'll let you know when the magic starts happening. First, we melt the powder. Oh, it started. There we go. You know, when you go in, a long time ago, when you used to look at greeting cards in stores and you'd find those ones that were embossed, and you were like, ooh, shiny. This is your wow card. Can you see that embossing taking place? Like, how cool is that? I'm just going to take my time and make sure I get the whole thing done. And, as you know, it gets really hot, so flip it around. Oh, I love that. See how the colors brightened up even more? Just like on the little tree. Wee-haw. And just one quick, I always use my lights to help me see if I missed any spots, like right here. Alrighty. I don't know how long that took, but it's noisy. There. Like? If you think this is pretty, by the way, feel free to hit the like or the love. Feel free to, I will look at your comments later, possibly tomorrow though, and feel free to share my video even while we're talking. There you go. I'm just going to do this so you can see what's going on. And I hope that's showing. I know that the screen looks so pixelated and gross. So what I've done is, this one's not quite as bright, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I'll have to go bolder next time, you know. Here we go. Here's the pieces, and this is my lighter version that I did like 15 minutes before the video. See what I mean? How you can make it as bold as you want. You can make it subtle. Whatever suits you, absolutely go for it. So let's bring in the card. Oh, I was going to say, I die cut this using the stitch rectangles. I had to shut my eyes for the answer, you know. Okay, so I do feel some powder, so just clean my hands a bit. All right, so here's the base of the card. You know, I only do the instructions here. I don't type them out because they're really simple measurements. This is 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2, so it's half a piece of paper. This is the layer, and some little bits got in there. It doesn't matter. It's going to be totally covered up. The layer is, let me think, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I embossed it using the stitched greenery die, which you know I love. It's so pixelated. I don't even know if you can see it or not, but there it is. It'll show up really beautifully on my blog. I just noticed that this needs 1 second. It's the thing about embossing is the little bits get like, you do have to watch what flies off, and stuff does go here and there. So this I'm going to actually glue straight down. So let's just do that and get that out of the way. You can use whatever adhesive you like. Again, with anything stitched like this, it has tiny little holes, so don't go nuts so crazy with the glue, because it's going to squish through. So that's the bottom of my card. Just line that up with my fingers. I just want all the borders to look the same, and being white on white, it is a little bit hard to see. Now, one thing is, I always say don't use too much glue, but you have to use enough that you get your wiggle time. And if for some reason you lose your wiggle time, leave it where it is. It's perfectly fine. Alrighty. I wanted to pop up this level, but I was going to pop up this, which is one of the oh wait, what was I gonna say? Which is one of the layering circles, which is also embossed with the stitch greenery dye. I tried it plain. I didn't like the look of it. I forgot to mention, this was the second largest of the stitched rectangles. That would probably help you. Yep. And then we have our pieces here. So there's the little smoky slate embossed tree. And there's this is a tree from the dies I showed you earlier from the Whimsical Tree Bundle. And then this is the tree that I stamped and then magically did my thing. So what we're going to do, let's assemble this. I like to get the parts down. So a little bit of glue. You don't need too much. It's going to go over the side a little bit. I'm not concerned about the direction of this at all. I just know that my card's a little crooked, my other card. And I don't think I popped this up. I probably cut the end off though. Again, it's got the little stitching, so go light with the glue. And I'm very, very, very lightly going, and we'll take some of that off. Going down the trunk of the tree with the glue as well. And we'll go, I don't want them the same height. I just want them all, none of them are going to be wonky, let's put it that way. And then this guy I am going to pop up. So, lots of popping up. You know, I love dimensionals. I keep throwing them though, which is kind of rude. I like things popped up. I forget if I mentioned that my upline is a team, which includes my Stamping Inspiration gals, are doing a Christmas card exchange, and I haven't taken pictures yet, but I have received some of the most beautiful cards. But again, I will. We didn't go to the mailbox today. We don't go every day. And then this guy's going to go right about here. Groovy. Remember our little sentiment? My little rough cut one. Oh, I think I need my minis. Oh, you know what? I'll just cut one of these. It's handy. I was trying to reach for them, but my catalog is on top. So, all right. So if you don't have the minis, cut the big ones in half or quarter, whatever you need. That might be, nope, it's not too big. I just need it to be on a different angle than a regular sized. Okay, so dimensionals. Pop it up. And I know it's a shame to cover up the tree, but I am. Make sure that's on straight. Ta-da! And then we're getting close to being done. Unbelievable. So yeah, so now you can see that I've popped these guys up, and I was going to pop this up, which means that if I was to pop this up as well, we'd be pretty thick, and you have to stop at some point. So I'm just going to not pop it up. I always feel like this is the card is lovely, of course, but I always find that I want to pop that part up more than others. So I'm just going to drop this and then center it. Not bad. Ooh, not bad. A little crooked, a little bit over to the side too much. Sometimes I bring out a ruler and just check to see. I think we're good. Okay, we are not done though, because we need to put on you thought it was the other ribbon that I use all the time. No, this is the gray, no. Gray granite? Is it the gray granite? Gray granite shimmer ribbon. And I think it's like quarter of an inch. That's not an eighth. And I realize it's a different gray, but it doesn't matter at all. So you might be thinking, oh no, she forgot to put that under the sentiment. You would be wrong. If you want me to measure this, 1 second. Alrighty, my ruler, oh there it is. I was gonna say my ruler was right here. So I'm using approximately, not even like say 8 3/4 inches of ribbon. And I can cut these ends. I'm not cutting this side. And I'm going to do something that I like to do with ribbon, which is lay that down. It's a good start to holding it in place. I want the top one to be a little taller. The thing about this is after you've put it on, if you don't like the way it is, like you're like, oh man, that's going uphill, and it is you just peel it and do it again. And the thing is, you can use glue dots or whatever. You can use whatever strikes your fancy. All right, I am going to use a glue dot though to hold this part down. And I did not? I always have glue dots on my desk. Interesting. Okay, well, they're right beside me in the drawer. And my take your pick tool. I know, where's the rest of it? Uh-oh, that just took off on me. Okay, we'll get another one. I will found it. I'm like, I'll find it later. Found it now. So I'm just gonna, this is again under, I don't care that it's a little lumpy because it's underneath. Again, we will trim that. And then we'll pop this up. I would love to know your thoughts. I'm going to go back to the comments, which are probably way behind. Thank you, Facebook. It's just the leg. There's really nothing I can do about it. Hey. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow. Can't believe how quiet it is. Had to break up the dogs today from a little fight. And my grandson was sleeping, so I did something unexpected. I threw a glass of water on them and they stopped. There was no way I was getting in between two dogs that are having a little bit of a biting match. No way. Alrighty. I do want that down a little bit lower. I am going to trim this because I don't like that down quite so far. And we're almost done. So I looked at the card. The reason I chose these small trees was to just balance out the softness of the rest of the card. I thought that made sense. I'm going to refresh my screen because it hasn't moved for quite some time. And then same with the thin ribbon and just the delicate bit of, I have glue in my hands, of heat embossing there. It's hard to see them, but those are supposed to be little decorations hanging from the tree. Like they're really, really pretty. Let's see if refreshing helped at all. We're almost done. I didn't want to have the mega length, alrighty, of video again this week. Alrighty, these masks are so cool. Okay, so here they are. I didn't want to go crazy either with anything. I think the card speaks for itself. You can just see the stitched greenery outside edge. I tried 2 other embossing folders. This card took me longer than any other card because I just want to do something completely different. To me, I don't know if you've heard this before of this technique. I've seen people do this in like white heat embossing, where they just embossed without color. They just embossed the mask, which you can do as well. Just don't put the color on. Few little decorations right there, but I had never seen this, where you add the color with the blending brushes, then you add, You could use your, I was going to say, you could use your sponge daubers, but this I think is going to give you, you're less likely to get like, you know how you can see those little fingerprints when you press too hard? As these are just, I can't put my finger in it, but they're just so much softer. I think that's the word. Anyway, that is my card. Here's the original. So I did go light tonight. Really light. I would love to hear what you think about it. It's back to non-traditional colors. I think last week we were into traditional colors, but I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I was going to say, anyone watching on YouTube, please subscribe. I will add the link to join my team and the link to shop in case you wanted any other products, and in case you're going to place an order as of tomorrow. There's the other. So this is going to be awesome, but I can make that into any kind of card. Oh, this was the part I was going to tell you. This is what looks like a little tree to me right here. You can say they look like hands or whatever. They look like little trees to my eyes. So that's why I went with this one, because I thought trees, polka dots, very cute, love them, you know. But that's what I decided to go with. So there they are. So anyway, I think we are all done, and just get that in the right spot. And I will see you next Tuesday for another video. Have a great week. Have a great sale. Join my team if you wish. And bye-bye.